Hey guys, GasGuzler here, and welcome back to the channel. So you may be wondering why the truck is done. This is me from the future. Long story short, my whole intro got corrupted. Love when that happens. So, supposed to be getting a new camera and some new equipment soon. But in today's video, we're gonna finally finish this truck up for good and finally get this thing back on the road. Super excited for this, because I miss this thing a lot. So last video, we tore the whole front end off of this thing after this truck was in an accident. So yeah, we have a nice fresh starting point, and I have a huge pile of boxes to go through and figure out what's what. I want to start off by getting the whole belt assembly back together, because you really can't do that when it's in the truck. I searched across eBay and found the two crank pulleys that nobody makes. So I had to find used OEM ones, because mine were absolutely destroyed, because that's pretty much what took the impact. So other than that, nothing else is bent. I checked, so yeah, we can go ahead and start throwing this belt assembly back together. Okay, so basically that entire time, my mic wasn't plugged in, so that's cool. Off to a great start here. Try not to lose these nuts like I did last time. Oh my god, that's worse than I remember. We're not going to worry about that. It'll be perfectly fine. Watch this not loosen. That was terrifying. Now it'll fit. Alright, let me go grab our fan clutch. I went with a heavy-duty fan clutch just because I like my vehicles to stay cool. And this thing, it has pretty low gearing, so kind of needs all the cooling she can get. This is going to be pretty cool. We'll put it all back together and then find out that the water pump is in fact bent. You don't want it too tight, but that should be good. So that's on there. It's probably going to stretch, but let me go ahead and toss our crank pulleys on. We can get the rest of the belt drive assembled and see if power steering still works. I'm a little scared about that one. Alright, let me see what other belts we got here. So I know one of these is just for power steering. That's not a good sign. I'm not giving you much of an option here. You're going to come out. AC belt is installed. Last but not least, we have the power steering. That's pretty good right there. Alright, so I'm gonna guess that it goes on this way. Hell yeah. Well, I think we can actually start putting this front end back together. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and hit this thing with a coat of primer, and then we can paint it before putting this on the truck. Should I be wearing a mask? Yes. Am I going to? No. Yeah, I'm already like out of primer, so that's good. Alright, let me go get another can of this, and then we'll, let me just finish this up. Off camera, I went ahead and finished up painting this thing. It came out not great. It's like really cracked. I think that had to do with the temperature, because it got really cold after I painted it, but yeah, we can go ahead and attempt to toss this thing on. I gotta remember which line went through where. So that's going to be fun. That's going to go way farther back. Oh yeah, that's all bent to shit. Yeah, this like doesn't fit at all. Future me here, you're going to see this a lot because this happened the entire video. Don't be like me and cheap out on parts, do it the right way. Trust me, this was a nightmare. Okay, pull this back off. Where did the body mount go? Alright, I think now we can go ahead and drop in my new radiator. I went a little bit overboard on this. And I got a performance radiator. Why? I have no idea, but it looks cool. Let me see what size bolts that uses. I don't know what bolts this uses. Where's the old radiator? Oh, I left the bolts in it. That's why. No, I didn't. Alright, give me a couple minutes. Alright, so I got the radiator all bolted up. I'm gonna go get a funnel and see if I cannot dump antifreeze all over everything. I mean, the fluid level's not going down. I say let's start it and see what happens. It is holding pressure. She's nice and warm. Thermostat opened. I think now we can go ahead and toss in our AC condenser. Well, that might be a pretty good stopping point for this week because I gotta head back to school. We will pick this thing up at a later date. Welcome back. So, it's been another 2 weeks off camera. I noticed that the crank pulley started wobbling really bad again, and I immediately knew it was the harmonic balancer, so I went ahead and bought a new one, and I'm glad that I did, because if you take a look at the old one, it's split right at the keyway, so that's our wobble, and I'm 99% sure that the oil pump is on the front of these motors, and it actually runs off the harmonic, so if this thing had split, I would have completely lost oil, so kind of glad that I went ahead and replaced that, but I think now we can actually start tossing the front end back together. I gotta get like the airbox and a couple other things bolted up, possibly reinforce this with a couple more bolts, but yeah, let me go grab a couple more boxes, see where that airbox is. I think I have the washer reservoir too, and yeah, we can start tossing this thing back together. All right, so I might have been really stupid and bought 2 coolant reservoirs. I did. I guess I have to order a washer reservoir, which might be a bit of a problem because, so my dumbass was like, oh yeah, the old one's broken, I don't need it, and threw it across the driveway, forgetting about the fact that it's full of like sensors and the pump and everything, and all of that broke. All right, let's see if I even remember how this goes together. Isn't there a cold fill, or is it kind of just... Sweet. Scoot this out of the way. It's Dorman, that's how you know it's good. I don't know, I have not had the best experience with them. So that like doesn't fit. You know, that literally doesn't fit at all. Alright, let me mess with this for like 20 minutes and then I'll be back. Whoa, would you look at that? It actually fits. They put the rivet in the wrong spot, which is what happened. Wait a minute, because now that doesn't fit. What the hell? So you remember when I said I haven't had the best experience with Dorman? Alright, let me run to advanced quickly, go grab an air filter, and then we can put the top back on. Alright, one short trip later. Go ahead and plop that in there. Wow, can you guess that it like barely fits because of this shitty ass airbox? Alright, so it's been another week. I was waiting on some fenders to come in, because we're not going to talk about what happened with painting the old ones. My buddy Justin's over there, working on his truck. You've seen him before. He was in the video with me blowing up that 4.9 last year. But yeah, we got 2 fenders from Rock Auto. They were roughly like 45-ish bucks each, which is not bad at all. Oh, I did not miss this. Well, that's definitely a fender. Oh, that's good. So I was working on my buddy's OBS last weekend, and I was giving him shit for having Tong Yang fenders. So I guess I can't really make fun of people anymore. Alright, so this one is a different brand, I guess, even though on Rock Auto it said they were both the same. Not gonna lie, the Tong Yang was packaged way better than this. Oh, dude! I take back my statement. Especially with OBS Fords, if you guys want quality replacement body panels, go with Gordon. They're very hard to come by, but they are possibly the best aftermarket body panels I have come across. Anyone with an OBS who's bought aftermarket panels will know what I'm talking about. They are paper thin. All right, well, let's unpackage this and start getting it on the truck. Well, she looks like a truck again, that's for sure. Holy crap, I haven't seen this thing like this in a long time. All right, now we can go ahead and start throwing in our headlights, just like this. If I remember correctly, here we go. And just make sure that they work. Yeah, they're pretty freaking bright.
20 minutes later.
So this fender really doesn't fit. And it's not this little plastic edge. It is the fender itself. And not wanting to line up. So this is the issue that I'm running into. We got huge gap down here. This needs to be shimmed or something and lifted, but I don't really know. I mean, these are all cheap parts, but I don't know. I guess we'll try to throw the other side in, see if it does the same thing. All right, so off camera, my father and I spent roughly like an hour trying to align these fenders as best as we could without washers. And they actually came out halfway decent. I mean, it's definitely not the best I've seen, but it's not the worst. And I guess he slapped the hood on it while I was gone, so we just got a couple more things to button up on this front end, and then this thing's ready to hit the road. So what I decided to go with was an early first-gen Tacoma bumper. So I got these brackets to pretty much run that bumper. All right, let's see. You know, I'm looking at this, and I think I put the brackets on completely upside down. So that's good. This doesn't fit at all. Let me try to get a ratchet on this. See if I can get just enough movement to where it'll pop into place. There we go. Using Ford hardware, because why not? Yeah, so it's gonna fit like absolute shit. And I'm just not really gonna, you know, worry about it. So my thought process here is bolt the bumper to the brackets, tighten those all the way, and then hopefully when we tighten the bolts on the frame, it'll kind of suck the brackets in and bend them where it needs to. Basically what's happening is the brackets are trying to do this instead of stay straight. So either they weren't bent properly when they were being made, or everything's just out of whack. Could be a combination of both. I also just broke the ratchet. So I gotta get a wrench on that because there's no way that's gonna work. Alright, bumper's all bolted on. We can now throw on that little plastic piece that goes under it. Let's see how I want to go about this. So like this actually has to go on before you put the bumper on the truck. I'm about ready to lose it. I actually just put a nice dent in it. I'm definitely missing like a bracket or 2 or 10. Yeah, no, these brackets are really like not right at all. Yeah, these brackets are gonna have to come off. All right, I'm gonna try to put this together for like an hour, and then I'll catch you guys when I figure out what the f is happening here. All right, let's try this again and hope that I don't completely mess it up. No. Let's see how badly I cross-threaded it. pretty bad. So basically, I'm going to grab the other bolt and do the exact same thing. You know what they say, cross thread is double thread, or something. Yeah, so those are really badly cross-threaded, but I just don't really care enough. Alright, good enough. Holy crap, it's done. There she is, the Toyota's back. Well, I'm gonna go take it on a quick test drive, just make sure everything's okay. Roughly 5 miles in, she's been doing pretty good. It's got a check engine light, which I'm not surprised, but I honestly thought we'd run into something by now. So we'll see how the rest of the little test drive goes, but she's not doing bad for having a pretty hefty accident. So yeah, catch you guys if something happens. Well, she made it. I'm pulling down the driveway now. Drove probably 10 miles or so. Absolutely no complaints. There's still a couple things I got to button up on this truck, like we're missing that one headlight filler, and I still got to get a new cross member for the front to bolt the skid plate back on. Not too shabby. And with that, I think that's going to end this video. Still going to end up painting it at some point, but I'm going a bit of a different direction than before, and I think you guys are going to like what I've planned for it. And stay tuned, because I have a lot more OBS Ford content coming. My collection of trucks has accumulated. I have a couple more up front, so like I always say, if you guys enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I will catch you guys in the next upload. Peace.